Hi everyone, welcome to the weekly review of my M1 Finance dividend portfolio. Get comfortable because I have lots of updates for this week. So yes, you are looking at the right portfolio. That balance number is correct. It's $146,078.29. The reason why I was highlighting that is because that's over a $15,000 increase from last week, but I'll show you how that all happened. Now, let's go ahead and look at the performance for the past week. So overall, it was positive. Portfolio was up 0.17% or $234.85. Let's look at the holdings. I have two. VU was up 1.55% or $1,141.56, which is fantastic. SCHD, on the other hand, was down 1.41% or $906.71. SCHD has definitely 100% been dragging down the portfolio significantly. I still really like SCHD. I understand it's not a growth ETF, it's a dividend ETF, so there will be a dramatic difference in terms of the growth between it and VU. I still really like SCHD and I don't plan to sell out of it, but what I am going to do is just pause any future investing into SCHD for a very long time. And when I say a very long time, I'm talking probably for the next 3 years. There will not be any investing directly into SCHD. It will all be going to VU. Now, it's already been a while since I put money into SCHD because of how I had my portfolio allocation set up. So as you see here, the goal is to have 60% VU and 40% SCHD. So future deposits all go into VU because again, the algorithm on the M1 Finance platform is trying to get VU to be 60% of the portfolio. But just the more and more I think about it, the more I'm just like, I think it just needs to be a higher percentage of VU than SCHD. So let's see if I can go ahead and update the portfolio allocation. Bear with me. I'm not sure how I do this. In the past, it was a lot more straightforward in terms of how you update your portfolio allocation. Let me see if I have to go back to the all setting. No, that's not it. Okay, I'm not sure how I do it on the app, but I know I can definitely do it on the desktop. So what I'm going to do essentially is just update VU to be 80% of the portfolio and SCHD to be 20%. So again, from a future investing perspective, it's going to be to me at least 2 years before the portfolio will rebalance to a point where VU is 80% and SCHD is 20%. Because again, I don't plan to sell out of SCHD. I do think it's a solid ETF and I want to keep it in my portfolio. I know I've gotten a couple comments before that, really need to focus on growth now, and ETFs like SCHD are more for like when you reach closer to retirement, which I totally understand and I actually agree with you, but it's already in my portfolio. And again, I really like it, so I'm not going to sell out of it, but just going to pause any future investing in SCHD for several years to come. All right, so that's what's going to happen with the portfolio allocation. So we'll review that new allocation in next week's video. But let's go ahead and look at the fun stuff. Let's look at the deposits for the past week. You are going to be completely shocked, but I'll explain everything. All right, so starting from last week, you're already seeing these are some really big numbers. On June 10th, I deposited $100. It got traded. It all went to VU, and I got 0.20 shares. Then on June 13th, I put in $5,000. It all went to VU, and I got 10.01 share. Then on June 14th, I put in $3,000. It all went to VU, and I got 6.03 shares. Then later that same day, I put in another $6,000. It all went to VU, and I got 12.03 shares. So for the past week, I put in $14,100. I know that's a ridiculous amount of money to put in 1 week, but I did have some money owed to me in addition to the fact that I got paid on Friday. I do invest aggressively in general, but with the addition of the money that was owed to me, I was able to put $14,000 towards my brokerage account, which I'm really, really happy about. One thing, I was just thinking to myself, I'm just like, I'm working so hard on this whole fire journey process. If I don't achieve it, it's not because of me. It just wasn't meant to be because $14,000, that's a lot of money to put into a brokerage account at once. And the universe cannot say that I didn't try or I didn't make an effort, man. Like, I just need the market to help me, because I'm putting in the money, but like, help me, stock market, to get this money to grow so I can ultimately achieve my goal of early retirement. I'm 40 years old right now. If I could retire today, I would 100% retire today. I know it's very controversial to say retirement versus like finding meaningful work. Nope, I'm retiring. Yep, I'm going to sit on the beach and drink pina coladas all day and spend time with my daughter and travel and not be bothered with the world or anyone. So that's what I want. I want early retirement. And I'll do the YouTube as fun because I'm already doing it now. It doesn't pay me. I'm not monetized or anything like that on YouTube, so I don't get any money from doing these videos. This is just pure enjoyment, and I just like to share and be transparent. So, huge, again, deposit. And let's go back to the main page and we can see the recap here. So I started the week off at $131,743.44. I put in $14,100, and then the market gain of $234.85 is what brings the balance up to $146,078.29. Now let's go and look at the holdings. So as you see here, overall the portfolio is up 7.28% or $9,908.41. VU, you see here, is up 10%, 10.1% or $7,595.49. And then SCHD is just really pitiful at 3.79% or $2,312.92. Man, the difference in the return is so dramatic. 10% versus 3%. So again, definitely this portfolio will 100% be focused on VU going forward for the next couple years, which I'm 100% okay with. All right. And I don't have any other upcoming deposits for next week, so I'll see if I can find some additional fund. I should be able to find some additional funding to put and deposit into the brokerage for next week. Also, I just wanted to pause here as well because with this big deposit, you would think it would all just bring positive emotions. And it did, right? So I don't want to undermine that. It felt really good to put such a large deposit in. But at the same time, I almost felt like it was too much, right? It's going back to last week's video that I was talking about fire burnout and just aggressively invest in and just aggressively invest in. And that's sort of all I do, and how I'm trying to like pivot and do some other things. And it was really hard because it was just like, are you really going to put the whole $14,000 in your brokerage account? Can't you just put 10,000 and take 4,000 and spend on yourself, or put 12,000 and take 2,000 and spend on yourself? So I'm always just so conflicted because, again, early retirement is my goal. I do not want to be working when I'm 50. Like, that would be very, very bad. Ideally, would love to retire at some point in my 40s. The earlier, the better. So that's how I was kind of talking through it in terms of, okay, well, yes, I could take 4,000 and spend on myself, but, well, we might be working in our 50s. Is that what you want? I'm like, nope, 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 nope. Don't. There's nothing that I can do today that would make me want to work in my 50s. So it's just really hard because sometimes I just feel like it's too much and I'm not spending enough money on the now. Because to retire early, I do have to invest aggressively, right? Like, that's a reality. I can't put in minimal amounts and expect to retire early. But at the same time, I'm also like, you're alive today. We have no idea if you're going to be alive tomorrow, a week from now, 5 years from now, no clue. So while it's great to invest for the future, also don't forget about today. So I don't know. You let me know. If you had $14,000 to spend, would you have put all of it into the brokerage account, or would you have split it up? So yeah, that's how I was just feeling. So again, excited, but also like, did you neglect yourself with this aggressive investing? I know your future self will thank you for sure, but what about your present self? Like, what did you give to her? So that's where I am. All right. Thanks for listening to me rant. Again, this is such a great update. $4,000 towards my next milestone of $150,000 for this portfolio. So I'm just hoping with just continued aggressive investing, as well as just making this portfolio 100% focused on VU, I will start to see some major growth over time with the balance. All right, that is all the update for this week, and I'll